Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Agree Disagree Sports Pod. I'm Sam Capola, joined by Aiden Totten. And I'd just like to start today by giving the Costa family a very gracious thank you. They gave us the honor of hosting their very handsome son, Chris Costa. Chris, yeah,
Clap it up,
Chris,
ladies. Come on.
Chris,
Daddy's home.
How you feeling today?
I'm doing good. Had a nice day. It was a beautiful day out, and I'm here to talk sports with the boys and get after it.
It in fact was a beautiful day in Meadville. Well, to start, we're kind of just gonna go across the sports world right now. Just give small little updates across each league, and then at the end of the video, we got some debates. It's gonna be like the main portion of the video. Aiden and Chris going at it. I'm gonna moderate it, keep things down, make sure things don't get too heated, and should be good. But to start, we got a little NFL action. Obviously, preseason week 2 is, I think, is there a game going on right now? Or is it done?
The Commies and Ravens are going at it right now.
What's the score of that game?
It was half and I stopped watching. It's 28-26 Ratbirds with 4 minutes left to go.
Nice. Not a crazy amount going on right now in the NFL. I saw Howell got named starter week 1. I saw that.
It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Well, one comment I have to make on that is, have you guys seen Sam Howell's bedhead?
No, I've not.
No.
Every time Bro takes a picture for the league, every year when they do their headshots, whatever, he comes in and his bedhead looks worse and worse every year.
His fantasy picture does look sleepy as hell now that you mention it.
Like, that's
Yeah.
what I'm telling you. His bedhead is terrible. Now, on to Sam Howell as a quarterback.
He's aight.
He played one game last year. He went
Dog.
11 for 19 with 169 yards. I mean, I don't know what you guys say. I think he shouldn't have been named starter yet.
Yeah, I don't.
When you have
I'm not-
Jacoby Brissett, who's proven to be very valuable,
Brissett and Jake Fromm behind him. So I mean,
I like Brissett more. That's just because
I agree.
you've seen him in Indy, you've seen him in Cleveland, you've seen him in Miami, and he's been
Yeah.
solid. But hey, to give Sam a little bit of praise, right now, I mean, as he's playing this preseason game, 19 for 25 with 188 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. So,
Not bad. Not
I
bad.
mean, he's playing much better this week than he did last week.
oh yeah.
I mean, but I still think that he has a bit to prove.
I agree.
I'm not undermining him as a quarterback, but I'm just saying he's only played. This is his 3rd game in his NFL career, and I mean 2 of them were preseason. But I
Yeah.
think he's still like. I mean, I think this year we'll see how he is. But
This is the you think this is the make or break?
yeah, but I think it's too early to name him
The starter.
Yeah,
Especially-
I don't have high praise for this team.
No,
Now-
I mean,
I think your point is interesting. Do you think it's too early to name Anthony Richardson the starter?
I mean, who else do they got? Who
Sam
else do they
Ellinger?
have?
I think it's Sam Ellinger.
Who?
Exactly.
exactly. That's what I was about to say. But what I mean, Jacoby Brissett. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Not the greatest quarterback, but he does have much more NFL experience. He's played more than 3 NFL games, and I think Sam Howell. I mean, yet again, not undermining him as a quarterback, but I still think he has more to prove. And I think right now you just go with the veteran guy.
I agree.
Because I still think it's too early in Sam Howell's career, and I don't think he's had enough experience for him to be named the starter yet.
I agree.
Spitting,
Thank you.
of course.
Kind of moving on. Earlier today, Jonathan Taylor, he's now looking at the Colts. Kind of said you can go out look for a trade. What do you guys think about that?
Chris?
Go ahead, Joe. I'll let you lead.
Oh, thanks. So, I think it's about time. I mean, they bring in Matt Ryan. Jonathan Taylor goes fucking nuts, and Matt Ryan does not, and the Colts are terrible. So, no, I think the writing was kind of just on the wall there. He wants to win, and he's a very, very good running back, and I think that the trade package for him will be exponential for whoever.
Here's a question for you: is Jonathan Taylor the best running back in the league on a better team than the Colts?
No. I still think McCaffrey's better.
Still think so?
Yes.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But here, I'll pose a question to you, gentlemen. Where do you think Jonathan Taylor should go? I mean, unbiased as a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Um,
I don't.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't really know the answer to that question.
even as a Steelers fan, I don't know if I would say for him to come to the Steelers.
Because, I mean, I'm sure the other 31 general managers are calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
obviously.
what does an offer for a running back look like, even if it's Jonathan Taylor? You know, it could be anywhere from a first-round pick to, like, a third-round pick, is what the insiders are saying, and it could be a huge amount of picks.
I'm hoping
So.
they get at least a first-round pick.
Have to.
Yeah.
I would say the Dolphins, but after the Tyreek Hill trade, I don't know what they have to offer. And
Yeah.
Truth be told.
I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see how that plays out. So it should be good. And then the other thing I kind of missed, I think earlier, might have been this weekend, the Ravens signed Jadeveon Clowney to a 1-year deal. What do you think about that?
It's been in the AFC North a little bit. I mean, he used to be on the Texans. He used to be a freaking monster, and out of South Carolina too. He's freaking amazing. So, will he really have an impact? Maybe, probably not.
Yeah.
He's kind of old, kind of washed. But good signing, good veteran presence for them.
Good.
So, in my notes, I have one word for this topic, and it just says old. I mean,
You're not
I'm
wrong.
sugarcoat it. His numbers have been declining in the last couple of years. Last year he had 2 sacks, and the year before that he had 9. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that he's had exponential numbers in the past, but like,
Yeah.
they're going down. Like, he's aging. And I
He's
mean,
not producing.
last year he had 14 solo tackles, and 5 years ago when he was on the Texans, he had 45.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not that he went to a worse team, or it's not that he's playing different competition. Like, I mean, it's still NFL football. He's just getting
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Right.
not to say, I mean, the Ravens, I don't know, the Ravens could always use more veteran presence, I think. Because, I mean, I don't know if they're a young team, but I'd say,
I mean,
any team,
You bring in David Ajabo from Michigan, who is, probably the most upside defender in the draft, in my opinion. Or who else did they got? They got Odafe Owe from Penn State. Is he still there? Yes, he's there. So
Yeah, he's there. So.
it'll be good for them to learn behind him, in my
yeah,
opinion.
I mean, veteran presence is always good on any team, no matter what. But I think he will have a bigger impact
In the locker room than on the field.
off the field than he will on the field.
Okay.
Exactly. Because I mean, I'm not gonna discount him as a player, but his numbers are declining. He's aging. He's what?
Probably 30. He's on the wrong side of 30 is what he is.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's good because you always need veteran presence in the locker room, but that'll happen.
Well, we'll move on to the NBA, which is more my department. So it is, around the league, James Harden and Joel Embiid, they are like, the talk of the town right now. And when someone asked James Harden if the relationship could be repaired between him and GM Daryl Morey, he said, "I don't think so." And Daryl Morey's response to all this was, "We're still going to keep James. We still want to keep James." And yeah,
I feel like he's just reaching at something that's way out of reach.
Yeah.
Completely out of reach.
Here's what I have to say. Daryl Morey has been in the league for 15 plus years.
Yes.
As an executive. He's been in the league much longer than that, but as an executive, 15 plus years.
Yeah.
And he has nothing to show for it. Not even a single finals appearance.
Good point.
And when I think about this, I mean, James Harden's a superstar.
Yes.
I mean, he might not have the rings or anything to prove that, but he's a superstar. And if you have a superstar on your team and he comes out and says something like this to you, and Morey has nothing to show for his 15 I mean, he's been in the league as an executive longer than Harden's been a player in the league.
Yeah.
And I think it's on Morey because I feel like what happened is he promised Harden a lot more money than he's giving Harden. And right now Harden's like, if I don't get my money, I want to leave.
Yeah.
But Morey's like, hey, I told you, but he's not going to get it. And I
Yeah.
think Morey's on the wrong side of this.
I agree.
mean, Harden's being a bit of a drama queen, but I mean, everybody, all superstars are. That's
Yeah.
just how it works in any sport. I mean, but I think it's less of a look at James like stop reaching, and more of a look at Morey like, what are you doing here? Like, this is a superstar who's
Daryl Morey's greatest career achievement is trading for James Harden. Let's be real right now.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're not wrong.
And that's all he's ever done.
Kind of staying on the topic of the Sixers, insiders believe that Embiid is going to request for a trade soon. So, Sixers are in shambles right now. Nothing is looking their way. What do you guys think about Embiid maybe moving out of Philly?
The writing's on the wall. I think it's time. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this. A while ago, Joel Embiid said that the Sixers fans want him to be traded. Sixers fans want to trade me, is what your MVP is saying. So, like, I think it's time. But what does a trade package for the reigning MVP look like? Probably maybe 9 to 10 first-round picks and 4 to 5 players, which is ridiculous for a player. So,
Yeah.
what are executives saying to Daryl Morey? And like, what is Embiid thinking anyway? Who knows? But I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, Morey's kind of like under fire right now. I could see a team kind of, I don't want to say steal, but getting Embiid for
Pennies on the dollar.
yeah,
For the most part.
Maybe not pennies a dollar, but like
Cheaper than
kind
what
of
he's
a
worth.
steal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's got to do something. Morey's got to do something. Like has nothing good going for him right now.
I think what's happening is like what he said in response to James Harden, like we want him, like we want to keep him, or whatever. I think he realizes that he's in shambles right now.
Yeah, he
Like,
is
that
in
team
shambles.
Is
Oh yeah, Philly's in the mud. Philly's in the mud.
Embiid wants to leave. Oh, well, Embiid doesn't want. I don't know if Embiid wants to leave, but apparently Sixers fans want him out. Harden wants out. Like I don't know how much more the Sixers can go through before it's.
Yeah.
Time to just hit reset again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think
But-
at that point the Sixers have just become irrelevant. Because I mean, besides Embiid and Harden, there's nobody else there.
Yeah.
They got PJ Tucker.
Dog.
My bad. I don't know.
I mean,
Nah, but like real shit though, they missed on Markelle Fultz. They missed on Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid, you take him at 3, I think, and I mean, his career has been amazing. He's been All NBA.
Yeah.
He's won MVP. He's been an All Star. Yeah, there's none of that though. There's nothing to show for it. But I think the days of one superstar, especially a superstar center, carrying their team to the finals is kind of over. I think it's been over for a long time.
He's definitely gonna need another superstar player on that team to help him carry the workload at least a little bit.
Someone like Trae Young.
Kind of like, or
Oof.
I mean,
I don't know if Atlanta wants to get rid. I don't think Atlanta.
yeah, I don't know if I could see Atlanta getting rid of Trae Young.
It's always good to
I
speculate.
think the best that could come out of this is Sixers keep Embiid and they trade Harden for more role players to help Embiid.
Yeah, but still at that point, I don't see that team winning a ring.
Yeah, but I think that's better than right now. If Harden leaves and then if Embiid leaves, then
Yeah,
they're
true.
completely messed up.
That's definitely the, I guess, like safe option.
Do you guys think that if they keep Embiid that they have to change their style of play, which their style of play is give Joel the ball and move out the way?
I don't think so, because who else are they gonna give the damn ball to?
That's what I'm saying here is like maybe that instead of because I know Joel Embiid is such a dominant force. I mean he averages 30 points a game at 7 foot and freaking 280 pounds or whatever. But maybe it is time for him to like start expanding his game as a playmaker and try and maybe take a notch down on the scoring.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like everything down in Philly needs a reset, in my opinion.
Starts at the top.
Yeah, true. But moving on, Lonzo Ball announces he was on Trae Young's podcast the other day. He's out for the entire season.
It's
after
so
having
sad.
A big knee surgery.
I miss so.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
It's sad. Because you gotta think this man goes to the Bulls and they are the first seed, and then they make he goes down. They limp into the playoffs. They get shit stomped by the Bucks, and then hasn't played since.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a Lonzo Ball fan. Love Ball in the family, but love Big LeVar. Like, I mean, LiAngelo, what are you gonna do? Melo's making his name in Charlotte. Like, I think this year the Hornets are gonna be a good team.
Playoff or
That's
playing?
I'm gonna go play in. I
I'm
think
gonna
they're close.
play in.
I think they're close to being a really good team.
Because
But I'm still
I
thinking
think
play
they're
in.
still a little young,
Yeah.
but I think LaMelo is starting to grow into being one of a leading player on a team that needs a leading player.
Yeah, he's definitely grown into that role that
Yeah.
the Hornets needed to play. So
All
And
right.
I think Lonzo can, like, I hope next year when he comes back he plays amazing. Because I mean I've always liked Lonzo, but I think this might be a hot one. But I think that his NBA career has been a little
Underwhelming.
and yeah, underwhelming.
Yeah.
I was
Because, I mean,
actually I was gonna
LeVar's-
ask.
Go ahead.
Do you guys do think he'll be back next season?
I think he'll be back.
I hope so.
I do too.
Actually, okay. Now, I think there's speculation that he might retire. Are the odds of him retiring higher than the odds are of him coming back?
I hope he comes back, but I could definitely see like a situation where he is kind of forced to retire just because his knee is so messed up at this point.
I think he still has a lot to prove, and I think he still could do a lot of great things if he came back. But like Sam said, there is a time when you just get so messed up and your body is just so destroyed.
Yeah.
You just
It is sad though because he is very young, but
yeah.
I'm hoping after this year, what would that be, the 2024-2025 season? Right?
Mhm.
Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm hoping he'll be back.
Because there was like he was on. I think he was on a podcast. He was saying that he couldn't even walk up the stairs. So
Yeah, I think that was Trey
It's-
Young's podcast.
was that Trey's podcast? I don't know. I know he said it. I just don't know where it
Yeah.
came from.
Yeah, kind of to also just finish the NBA section. Team USA came back from a 16-point second half deficit.
And Edwards,
99-91. Yeah, Anthony Edwards 34 points, and then Austin Reeves and Halliburton both had 16 off the bench. This Team USA team went 5-0 in the exhibition game round
World Cup,
or
bound.
portion of the season. How do you guys like this team?
They are winning it all. I mean, this
I
team
mean-
is it's so young, it's fun, it's electric, and I'm all for it.
They're definitely not blowing people out, but like they're still showing that Team USA's like on top. You know what I mean?
hmm
This could be a hot one. I think Anthony Edwards is a future MVP.
Yep. No, I mean, that's not even a hot
I
one.
think Anthony Edwards.
That's a
is
lukewarm one.
Great basketball
So
player.
that's a warmie, bro.
He's gonna. If this is a hot one, I think he's gonna be a top 3 shooting guard of all time when it's all said and done. Top 3.
I'm not opposed to that.
I'm thinking MJ, Kobe, and
I'm not opposed to that.
I'm just saying.
That's,
Camera
That
focus.
is hot. I mean, that's as hot as it can get, Chop. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, hey, he's that guy.
I think he's gonna have a great career. Like I think he has a great career ahead of him, and I mean, he's playing well so far. I mean, maybe if he moves to a better squad, then maybe something else happens. But I think he's a great player.
I'm
Yeah,
low key bought into the Timberwolves this season.
You think?
I'm bought in.
Cat is that guy.
They really did. They really did. I think the biggest thing for the Timberwolves is being consistent and keeping a fluent lineup. I mean, they invested so much for Rudy Gobert that I think you got to keep him and Cat in starting at all times. And it's not like the team's bad. They just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. All right, moving on. Soccer. Me and Aiden, you know, on
Bad
Thursday,
weekend for me.
last Thursday's episode, we made our picks, weekend picks. I went 2 for 4. I think Aiden, you went what, 1 for 4?
Uno.
Yeah, not a great weekend for the boys. Tottenham versus Man U. Tottenham won 2-0. That game kind of surprised me. I don't know about you.
See, I'm a Man U fan, and you know me. I watched all 90 minutes. It was absolutely embarrassing. You know, Man U sucks, and they can't pass, they can't score. Like, Like, I don't know. They could have put me out there. Like, and I could have the same impact on the game. Like, it's just
really did want
embarrassing.
us. They really did not want you out there. Dog. You would have dogged everyone out there. Boy.
Yeah, I probably would have scored 3. It's
That's what I'm saying. But
Like-
yeah, we both got that one wrong, didn't we?
yeah, we both picked Man U, and we both
Yeah.
suffered.
And then after that, Man City versus Newcastle.
Barn burner, but Man City got the better of
I got that
Newcastle.
one right.
But you know, if you're a Newcastle fan, you can't really be mad. Losing 1-0 to the defending champions, I mean, or the treble, like, and the treble winners. Why is my camera not focusing? Hey, you know, that's what it is.
There you go.
But yeah,
Like you said before, Holland kind of.
Holland did not score.
Out there.
The one goal he did not score, and his match rating, which is like from this app I use, was a 6.6. So
Yeah, you said
might be
it.
struggling.
You kind of talked about that last episode. Yeah, like without
De Bruyne,
Yeah,
it's not really.
and then we had West Ham versus Chelsea 3-1. I watched this game was atrocious. We both got this wrong.
This is probably the upset of the weekend, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I'm never putting any type of money, currency, buttons, nothing on Chelsea ever.
I wouldn't even bet on Chelsea on action. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't even put fake money on them. It was terrible. Terrible. They didn't play terrible. Like they actually like possessed the ball most of the game, but like they just did not get anything going offensively, and defensively they had so many breakdowns.
Like, you know, you concede a goal in the first 10 minutes, and then your 19-year-old starter bags one, and then you equalize, and then the wheels fell off. Then you bring in your $140 million defender that you just signed for, you know, record fee, and he concedes a penalty in the 90th minute, and it's kind of just is what it is.
It just was not good. And then the last game was Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Was that today?
Yeah, it was
That was
today.
today.
3 o'clock.
1-0 Arsenal win.
1-0 Arsenal.
I think we both got that right, so
Yes,
that was
sir.
good. Kind of surprised this wasn't more of a blowout by Arsenal.
Yeah, I thought Arsenal would have put up at least 2 or 3, but you know,
Honestly, it was a pretty even game.
it's a fair assumption.
But yeah, so first segment of weekend picks, you know, wasn't ideal. Yeah, wasn't really good. But
Oh wait, just
you know,
I don't need to cut you off
Thursday.
real quick. But Chris Pulisic scored in his debut for AC Milan today. Just, you know, thought I thought I'd say the LeBron James of soccer is back. Wait, I'm telling you, you should dead ass go watch the goal. I mean, it was something.
Captain America.
Captain America. Yeah. Moving on though.
Moving on though, Messi and Inter Miami win the Leagues Cup 1-1, and they win it in PKs. This was
The
a
greatest
good game.
of all time. Simply.
This was a good game.
I'll pitch in one thing to the soccer segment because I mean I don't know a single thing, but Messi was brought into Miami and they made him captain.
hmm
And then bro wins the trophy and says no, and he lets the old captain raise the trophy.
Raise the trophy
I saw
first.
that.
Yeah.
And
I
this
saw
is
that.
why I think Messi's better than Ronaldo.
I agree.
I mean, humility goes a long way.
Sue me.
I won't.
Messi had their only goal in regulation too.
And it
How
was
many goals?
stunning,
Wait, so
to say the
so
least.
that's what? 10 goals in
7 games. 7 games, 10 goals.
That's wild. That's insane. Really, it is really amazing what he's doing over there.
Should be back in Barcelona, but
Yeah, and then the kind of last thing I have for soccer is Spain won the Women's World Cup, beat England 1-0.
good for them.
I didn't get a chance to watch this game, but I did see the girl who scored the game winner. Her father passed away like
That's.
during the game.
I thought it was like the day after.
I might be wrong. I don't know, but I just know that her father.
Yeah, but like prayers out to their family. Like
Yeah,
that
real
is
sad there.
that's awful.
Real sad there. But moving on, NHL, not a whole lot going on. Again, another death. Rick, Jenneret passed away at age 81. Was an iconic voice for the Sabres. Again, prayers to his family. Sad news. Ilya Lyubushkin to the Ducks in exchange for a 2025 fourth-round pick going to the Sabres. Honestly, don't see either team really winning this trade. It's kind of 50-50 in my opinion.
I don't see
And then-
Edmonton winning a lot this year.
Yeah. I don't see. I agree. Sabres aren't bad.
I mean,
Ducks though.
The Sabres are
That's
forever
so
stuck in
far.
mediocrity.
Yeah,
Let's
but
look
the
at Sabres. Tage Thompson is phenomenal, but Tage Thompson can't win 82 games and take him to the Stanley Cup.
I think both teams in a couple of years could be very good.
Yeah.
By a couple of years, I mean like 3 to 5 years.
I could agree.
I don't know
Yeah,
if I'll ever
and
pay
then-
attention to hockey in this 3 to 5 years, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
the last thing is after 404 games between 6 NHL teams, Jonathan Bernier has announced his retirement. He was a solid goaltender. He finished. I looked up his stats: .912 save percentage, 2.77 goals against average, and 18 shots over the span of his career. So I don't know how old he was. I'm gonna look up how old he was.
While you're doing that, Sam, I'm going to ask you gentlemen how you feel about the unveiling of the NHL 24 cover being Cale Makar.
I like that.
It looks pretty cool, but like, is Cale Makar really that relevant? I'm just like, as a guy who doesn't really know hockey, I'm just asking.
He's definitely had a great season last year. He's an upcoming star, and he's gonna be the face of the NHL for the next coming years. Kind of like an Eric Carlson, in my opinion.
Okay, can I ask you guys one thing? I've been hearing buzzing for like the past like 5 minutes. Does anyone else hear that? Is that just me?
Yeah, I heard buzzing. I don't think it might be mine. I don't know. Anyway,
Okay, just checking.
but Bernier is 35 years old, so kind of makes sense.
Congrats on your retirement, big cuz. That's all I
Yeah.
got to say.
NHL, yeah, not much going on. Moving on to golf. You know, these weekend picks me and Chof made.
We went nuts.
Last episode, I picked Hovland to win it all. He obviously did win it all, shooting 17 under. He was 3 under through his first 2 rounds, and then shot 14 under the last 2 days with a 61 in his final round, which I think was the course record, if not mistaken. And Tour Championship starts Thursday, and Aiden also, he picked Scheffler. He got second, so soccer may have been an L, but golf, I said we doing pretty good.
I'm proud of us. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Hi,
All right.
Chris. Let's hear this spiel.
Let me get after this real quick. A great man once said, scared money don't make money. And Victor Hovland did not play scared on Sunday.
He did not.
Victor Hovland attacked every pin. I think he had maybe 12 one putts on Sunday because he was just throwing them right there, like attacked every pin. He made 7 birdies on the back.
Did you watch it, Bones?
I watched like the first day, and then I watched mostly all the last day.
I told myself I was gonna watch it. I just didn't. I did not.
He had 7 birdies on the back, and I mean, Scotty was definitely in it until he bogeyed 17.
Yeah, he 3-putt. That was a terrible 3-putt.
It's a 3-whack. You can't 3-whack on 17 when you're either was he a stroke back or was he tied?
He was a stroke back
Yeah, and
with
then
2 holes to play. I think. Yeah, 2 holes to
Yeah.
play.
yeah,
You know who I was rooting for? Who came out swinging round 1?
Who?
My man Ricky Fowler.
yes.
He's got to be older than time. How old is he now?
He's not. I don't think he's anything
He's
crazy.
not super old, no.
I just feel like I've heard his name for a million years, but I don't really know when people start golfing professionally. So
I mean, this
He's,
year
he's 30. He's 34.
okay,
yeah,
okay.
this year he's been very prominent. I mean,
Yeah.
in the past he's always been very prominent, but this year he's started to play a lot better. I mean, he hasn't won much this year, but he
Yeah.
has. I think he has a top 5, top 10 finish in most events this year.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it earlier, and all the people who finished in the top 5 at the BMW are in the top 10 for the FedEx Cup standings.
Ooh,
Makes
So
sense.
I think, well, I mean, before like this event,
Yeah.
really got the points. So I think the FedEx Cup Championship and like all the playoffs this year is going to be electric.
Yeah.
Because I think
I've-
all these guys are playing super well, and they
Yeah.
all are all right there.
I have the standings pulled up right now. After the BMW Championship, Scheffler is now 1. He moved from 2 to 1. Victor moved from 7 to number 2. Rory stayed at 3. Rom moved from 1 to 4, and then Lucas Glover moved from 4 to 5. So, and
Did
all those
Rom?
guys, I don't think Rom did not have a great stat line
I
to
didn't think
BMW.
so.
I'll check what he
I
shot.
mean, he plays well. He's always right there, but I think
Yeah,
since the Masters, he hasn't been superb.
yeah.
He hasn't been playing great golf. I mean, he played like the Masters was great. It was fun to watch, but I don't know that he's been playing great since.
Rom was even. Rom was even. So
I mean,
nothing crazy.
if there's guys who are 17, 15, 16 under, and he's shooting even par,
Yeah, not ideal.
I
Not ideal.
no.
But yeah, like I said, Tour Championship starts Thursday. We'll give our future picks on our next episode. That was kind of a fun little thing to follow along all weekend. But moving on to MLB, only really big thing I can think of is the Wander Franco little scandal there. MLB's looking to a social media post involving him. He was allegedly had an inappropriate relationship with a 14-year-old girl. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well,
I don't know.
so,
Burn a pair of cuffs and throw them in a cell. I don't really know.
Yeah.
so the night that this post was discovered, Tampa Bay Rays were playing a game, and the promotion for this game was kids 14 and under receive
Yikes.
a Wander Franco Tampa Bay Rays hat.
That's what I do.
Who's the commissioner of the MLB? They gotta get on that shit, bro.
That's what I do.
That's awful. That's so bad.
This promotion was going on, and in the middle of I don't know if it was in the middle of the game or before the game, he was removed from the lineup during this investigation. But the promotion still continued, and all kids 14 and under at this game got Wander Franco hats.
That's not ideal.
Those hats gotta be worth a fortune. Like, I'm okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, not much
If you want,
else
I
in
can go
MLB
into
going
Pirates
on.
a little bit. I can go into Pirates a little bit.
Pirate,
They're,
Pirates,
they're still like whooping the Cardinals.
they
right
won.
now?
They already won. 11, I think it was 11-1, right?
Yeah, they beat the Cardinals 11-1 tonight. They
Wild card, here we come.
How many? They have to be only a couple games back, I think.
Nah,
got 12 games back.
yeah. I was just saying, like,
Just
it's gotta be
about
like 10 or 11.
It's only 9. It's only 9.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shoot! All right, screw the wild card. World Series, here we come.
But they're very young. I think they're going to be good in the future as long as I don't even know what the owner of that team's name is, but as long as he doesn't mess everything up like he happens to do in the past, then I
Yeah.
think a lot of their young talent is going to grow into star players. Because I mean, once O'Neal Cruz comes back, he's going to be a great player like he was before. I mean, I hope.
When is he
Brian
supposed to be
Hayes-
back?
Soon, I think in the next month or so.
Also, the owner's name is Robert Nutting.
Bob Nutting, yes.
No,
Very-
Robert. I guess, yeah, you call him Bob. Yeah, whatever.
Very, very smart.
Y'all
very good at
crazy.
owning a baseball team. But but I mean, O'Neal Cruz is going to be a good player.
Yeah.
Brian Hayes is already a great player. They have a couple other young stars. I mean, Brian Reynolds is the veteran leadership in the clubhouse right now because I think Kutch is retiring after this year.
I
I
agree.
think he
Guy.
left just to DH, just to be a pirate when he retired. Because I mean, that's what you got to do.
I'm
course.
not a big fan of Brian Reynolds. I don't know. He kind of rubs me the wrong way.
He's been kind of under.
Just because of the way he looks, or just because of the way he plays? Like, I don't know.
No.
Just I don't know. I think
Yeah,
after he got paid, he's been
He's been because
underwhelming.
I swear he was going crazy. I'd see posts from the Pirates IG all the time of him hitting freaking nukes and
Yeah, last
Yeah.
year he played a lot better than he's played this year. That's for sure. But I mean, he's still the veteran guy there because I think once Kutch leaves, then it's just going to be a lot of young jits and then Brian
Yeah.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
So I think the Pirates have a bright future if they stay with it and Bob Nutting doesn't sell the whole team.
Hey, we got
Because-
Paul Skeens.
Paul
What else do we know?
schemes, bro. You and Ben, Chris, you guys were on that like joke for I don't even know how long.
Yes, Ben did call me Paul Skeens for a while.
No,
But-
our farm team is like crazy. Like
Crazy.
we have the talent,
Yes.
and we already have the talent on our actual roster. Like you said, we're very young. So in a couple years, I could see this team, as long as my man Nutting doesn't do anything stupid. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll
I think-
see.
Like
I
get
think
anybody
Paul
pregnant?
Paul Skeens is pitching well. He's played a couple games in the minors, lots of strikeouts, throwing the
I saw
ball
that.
as hard as ever. Dating Livy Dunn. I mean,
Dog.
guys, he's gonna keep
Dog.
moving up in the organization. And the Pirates don't need to call him up this year. I think this year is already this year. Like,
See,
they're just,
you know, the thing that pisses me off though is these boys got me so excited at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, because we were actually nice. Like, because we were actually
They
nice.
They came out hot. You know, I went to like 3 games at the beginning of the year, 3 wins. You know, I'm like, damn, like this is our year, baby. And then here we are, 9 games out of the wild card. So, you know, kind of restating, yeah, I could see this team definitely being solid in a couple years.
I can see
But-
it. I mean,
yeah.
as long as they just keep with things and don't trade away all their young players or
Yeah.
prospects, then I think they won't end up being too bad.
Yeah. But moving on, last thing I kind of have here before moving to the debate is UFC.
Sugar
UFC
Sean, baby.
292, Sean O'Malley took on Sterling for the bantamweight title Saturday at the TD Garden after dropping Sterling with a single blow earlier.
First
O'Malley
class
ended the fight
ass whooping.
with a TKO stoppage in the second round to win. Did you guys watch this fight at all, or watch the highlights or anything?
I watched the highlights because I wasn't doing pay per view. That's doing too much.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive win.
I think Sugar Sean O'Malley is a great fighter, and I think
Yeah.
he has a very bright future. I mean,
How old is he?
I think he's still young,
He's got to be really young, yeah.
but I think
Oh, he's 28. He's older than I thought.
yeah, but I
UFC, not a lot of UFC fighters are young.
I think Sean O'Malley, hot take here, next Conor McGregor.
Those are big shoes to fill. There's some big shoes to
I
fill.
mean, they both have quite big
Yeah,
personality.
they had like the same personality, pretty
Yeah.
much.
I mean, Sean O'Malley's a great fighter. Like, if you watch him, it's just the way I don't even really know, just the way he gets after it is just
His demeanor is very
incredible, yeah.
very much like Conor's.
And I mean, Conor McGregor could be argued to be one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time. But I don't know. I was just thinking
I would say Johnny Bones is the greatest UFC fighter ever.
that's true, but you can't go past Khabib. Because I mean, Khabib literally destroyed anybody in his way,
It's fair.
including McGregor.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
That's true. I don't know.
Alright.
Izzy Adesanya is gonna be the next GOAT though, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
That's my guy. I love Izzy Adesanya.
But yeah, not much else going on there. But now, done with our updates, we're gonna move into the what the people came for. Debate.
The great debate. Wait, before we start, do you guys know that Magic Johnson's a partial owner of the Commanders? I just figured that out like an hour ago.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's all I want to say. Anyway, let's get it.
All right, we got Aiden Totten
Hey, 6'4", Clemson commit.
versus the newcomer, Christopher Costa. So I got here a series of 12 questions. I'm gonna let these gentlemen go one at a time, give their case for which side they support. And some of these questions they may think the same thing, so we'll kind of just talk about that. But for the ones they disagree, we'll have them battle it out, and at the end I'll kind of chime in a little bit and give my opinion, and I'll pick who I think comes away with the point, and then we'll keep track of points and see who wins at the end. Sound good? All right.
I'm nervous.
Question 1. Who is the better college football player, Jameis Winston or Marcus Mariota?
I got my answer.
I'll let Chris go first. He's the newcomer.
As a Florida State fan,
Yeah.
I strongly
Wait, pause. Sorry to interrupt. You're an FSU fan?
used to be.
He has a shirt.
I do.
He
As
has-
a former sort of current FSU fan, still watch the old Knowles, but as an FSU fan, I couldn't strongly pick or couldn't stronger pick.
He is cracking under the pressure, ladies and gentlemen.
James Winston.
No.
Thank you.
Huh?
No.
He said no.
No.
Okay.
I choked.
Just let me. No.
Go. Yeah, say go. Yeah, get your point across, and then I'll tell you why I disagree.
James Winston. He played one less game than Marcus Mariota. Actually, he played a season less than Marcus Mariota. But if you're comparing the 2 seasons that they played at the same time, James Winston played one less game. Statistically, they are within.
It's close. It's close.
Extremely close.
It's
I mean,
close.
Marcus Mariota rushed more, but it's extremely close. But if you look at it, Jameis Winston won more games, Marcus Mariota lost more games, and Jameis Winston came up with one thing that Marcus Mariota didn't.
Title.
And I mean, they both are having great NFL careers, so we don't even have to
Absolutely.
So, but I think, well, Jameis Winston.
Well, my
also did-
favorite video to this day is when he's on the Saints, got hurt, and they won the game in the locker room.
And he's buzzing it. He's like, hey, bro, oh my god. That shit makes you
Funny.
crack up.
But Jameis Winston not only did all of this, he was also playing baseball.
I did not know
Oh,
that.
really?
I didn't know that.
He played baseball for FSU
Shit.
as well.
But how many Heisman winning quarterbacks have, like, Kyler Murray's done that? I mean, Russell Wilson done that. I don't think he didn't win the Heisman though.
But
Still,
I think
No,
it's impressive.
that's
He
impressive.
accomplished all this on the football field and then went and played baseball. Like, it's not like he just went and sat around in the spring.
And ate crab legs.
right after
Yeah.
football was over, he went and started hitting in the cages like Sammy Bones.
Oh yeah. Back in my
Legend
heyday,
has it,
back in my heyday,
24
baby.
could be dangerous.
Hey, I might make my return for Pitt baseball this
Here we
this-
go.
this spring. Who knows? Who knows? I'm gonna have to walk on it. All right, Chris. Thank you. Over to you, Aiden.
Okay, I'll read what I wrote down in my notes, because I think that Marcus Mariota is the better college football player. So here we go. Marcus Mariota was, if not the most consistent and efficient Heisman-winning quarterback of all time. He led his team to win the Pac-12 and steamrolled FSU in the Rose Bowl and lost by a 2-point margin to OSU in the chip game. And OSU had a very good team that year. Joey Bosa, Eli Apple, who was good in college, obviously not a great NFL player. And on offense, I mean, JT Barrett was an okay college quarterback, had a decent season, like 30 touchdowns, 8 picks, and like 4,000 passing yards. My bad, I can get that out. And obviously throwing to Michael Thomas, Curtis Samuel, like some good receivers. They had a really good team. And Oregon and Marcus Mariota held their own. Now to talk about the stats, Marcus Mariota through his entire Heisman-winning season had 4,400 yards and 42 touchdowns through the air and 4 picks. And he's obviously a much better rushing quarterback, throwing up, I think, 15 touchdowns on the ground and about 800 yards. And, and tell me one receiver that Marcus Mariota was throwing to. You can't. Because they're all a bunch of no-name bums. Let's be real. Oregon...
Tell me one receiver James Winston was throwing.
Calvin Benjamin. Wide receiver 1 for the Panthers for Cam Newton.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
One. That's one.
It's more than Mariota was throwing to.
I'd say that.
Hey,
I'd say
gentlemen. I'm gonna need you to take
Like,
it down from level
he
10 to level 3.
Listen. The FSU team was much better, and Marcus Mariota willed those brothers to that chip game just to lose by 2 to OSU. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, when you talk about a player and less of a team, I'm taking Mariota all day.
All right, both of you guys made very good points. Obviously, Chris, you're a big Seminoles guy, big Jameis Winston guy, and both are Heisman winners. Both were very close statistically, but me personally, and off this argument, I'm probably gonna go Mariota here.
Hey!
My
bad.
Listen, like Cho said, head-to-head, smoked them. And the 2014 year Mariota won the Heisman, uh, Winston kind of had a very mediocre. I don't want to say mediocre, but kind of had a lackluster year. Same with FSU. So I feel like Mariota kind of just very consistent, like Aiden said. Had I think do you have 3 seasons at Oregon?
Uh,
2, 3, or
I think it was 3.
I think
Yeah.
3. I think 3. Had 3 very good seasons. So, in my opinion, and off this argument, I'd probably go Mariota here. But
It's not like Jameis
it
is
really
sorry.
close. Yeah,
It's
close.
not like Winston's sorry.
And to win the Heisman your freshman year, like Jameis Winston did, is
You did
also
not mention that.
It is
did not
very
mention
impressive.
that.
So I was really close here. I could go either way here, but I'm probably gonna go Mariota.
I'm biased, to be real honest with you.
All right, that's so 1-0 show here. All right, question 2: which team is better, the 2007 Patriots or the 2020 Chiefs? We'll have Aiden go first.
Okay. I had the Pats. Is there any disagreement?
They
Fair
agree.
enough.
So we'll just talk about this one then.
So, obviously, undefeated season, Brady, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. We had Coach of the Year in Bill Belichick. We had an All-Pro in Randy Moss. We had a great defense, running people in and out the gym. I mean, what else can you say?
I could agree. And, I mean, my points are better record, and Patriots had Tom Brady, and the Chiefs, who lost the Super Bowl in 2020, who did they lose to? But
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, the only thing I really have here is both offenses were dominant, but Patriots defense was 10 times better than this Chiefs defense.
Yeah, because, was this Patriots team as talented as the Chiefs? On paper, I would say no. I'd say Patrick Mahomes is a more talented quarterback than Tom Brady, which is fair to say. Is he a greater quarterback? Absolutely not. But,
Tom Brady's a winner, though.
exactly.
Yeah. So, both obviously 2 really good teams, but I would agree. I'd take the Pats here. So, nothing much else. No points there. Question 3: who is the greatest coach
I'm excited
of
for this
all
one.
of sports history? We'll let Aiden go first here.
I was talking about this to Bones, all day. My answer's a bit of a wild card, and I guarantee, no one
He
expected
wouldn't
it.
tell me. He wouldn't tell me what it is. He
'Cause-
just said, "Be ready."
I got Pep Guardiola. Now listen to my my reasoning. You win the treble 2 times in soccer, which is one of the greatest achievements you can ever do. You win the Champions League, you win the league title, and you win the domestic trophy. You do that 2 times. And being a manager, he is a very, very creative soccer mind, and he creates some of the best players ever. I mean, one of his best players ever that he managed was Lionel Messi. I mean, what else can you say? And he has 35 major trophies as a manager, and he's only coached at the highest level. He's coached Bayern, he's coached Barca, he's coached Man City. So I'm just when you talk about winning, and you talk about being a really, really, really good coach, none better than Pep.
All right, Chris.
All right, so here, I mean, in our sense, it's a sort of also a wild card. But if you look at it, it's plain as day. I picked John Wooden, former UCLA coach, in his time with the Bruins, 10-time NCAA chip, 12-time Final Four, 15-time Pac-12, 5-time AP Coach of the Year. He also served in the military, won the Presidential Award of Freedom, because, why wouldn't
Why
you?
not? Yeah.
And honorable players that he coached: Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest ever; Bill Walton, another great;
MVP.
Gail Goodrich. He produced winners, he won, and he was a man of his country. I mean, there's nothing.
I like that. Before you guys made 2 very good points.
Bones is a good answer.
Before I pick the winner between you guys, I wanted to chip in here.
Yes.
The greatest coach of all time
Listen, this is good.
is Herb Brooks.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's good.
You know what I mean?
Again,
Herb Brooks, head coach of the U.S. Olympic team at Lake Placid in the 1980 Winter Olympics,
again.
led those boys to a 4-3 upset over the heavily favored Soviet team to win gold. He made one of the greatest quotes of all time. If you never watched the Miracle movie, turn the podcast off.
And go watch that damn movie.
Well, wait till the podcast is done. Actually, gotta get those viewers up. I
Spitting.
need those
Spitting. Yeah,
sponsorships,
he's
you know what I mean?
spitting. He's spitting.
And go watch the movie, please. But yeah, Herb
Great
Brooks,
moments are born from great opportunity. You know what I mean?
He had a solid NHL coaching career, and he actually before kind of this early in his career, he coached the Golden Gophers and won 3 national championships with them in 7 years. So, and I think he led USA to a silver medal in like 2002 as well. So, Herb Brooks, that's my guy. But back to you guys, because this isn't about me.
That's a solid pick, Bo.
That's a good pick.
It's honestly, I mean, I know I was laughing at you the entire time you made that
Yeah.
speech, but
Yeah.
it's honestly a solid pick.
Yeah. So back to you guys though. Both, made good picks. For me personally, I'm probably gonna go John Wooden here.
You can't argue
March-
against it.
March Madness is a grind, and we know that. And some of the players that Chris mentioned that he coached, obviously great NBA careers. Kareem, and I'm gonna go John here. Served our country. Thank you, sir.
God bless.
So it's 1-1 now.
One up.
Kind of mad no one said Herb Brooks, but I had to get that out there. I had to get that off my chest.
I thought Pep would be such a wild card that no one would expect it.
No, 2 very good takes though. All right. Next question. Kind of going back to March Madness. Which is harder to win, an NBA championship or a college basketball national championship? We'll let Chris go first.
I think it's March Madness here.
I can't disagree at all. I can't disagree at all.
We agreed. All right, let's talk about this. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, March Madness, it's a long, slow, it's not all like, you got to be a little lucky. Like, the stars have to align and not, just because you're a 1 seed doesn't mean you're going to make it there.
Yeah, I think there's so much. Even from just this last tournament was so crazy. There's just so many upsets. Anything can happen, and like you said, it's a grind, it's a slow grind. But I'm probably gonna agree with you guys. I think that NCAA championship here is much harder.
Like, you get one Jordan Hawkins, you get one Marquise Noel to catch. Like, you get somebody to catch fire at the right time, and
And you can argue that it's a shorter season, but still, I think that it's
that's tough. That's a lot of eyes on a young.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm saying, because, like, if you think about it, like, NBA teams that have success are built.
For success.
Like,
They're not built to lose.
College teams aren't paying all their players $100 million. Like, I'm not saying that there isn't, like, recruiting and, like, Duke isn't always a force or, like,
Yeah.
like, Kansas is
Yeah.
always great, like, but there are teams like your, what's it called? Loyola Chicago.
Yeah.
That just nobody's going to Loyola Chicago.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Sister Jean
Sister Jean.
turns 104 today. 104 years old. I think
She's still alive.
I think it was today was her birthday. I
Happy
think it was
birthday.
Happy birthday, Sister Jean.
Fucking slay.
funny. But yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
But yeah, I think, like, also Cinderellas, like, just random schools, like, from nowhere can come and just mess up a season like that. Like, it's not like the Orlando Magic are magically in the
NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a team like that is just randomly showing up in the finals.
And you
To
gotta
ta-
keep
okay,
in
like-
mind, too, it's
Go ahead.
also kind of like luck of the draw. Like the committee picks where you're at. You could draw a team who just got a first round exit in their conference tournament and have no momentum, or like a super low seed who just somehow upset and won their conference. It's coming in the tournament with fire. So it's kind of luck of the draw as well. It's like random.
And let me piggyback off you a little bit, Bones. In the NBA, teams will win and lose to, like, set their playoff matchup. Like, the Clippers did it. Teams do it all the time. And I guess to, like, when you mentioned, Chris, with the Orlando Magic, the Heat just made the finals, but that team is not sorry at all. The team was not an 8 seed. So, I mean, NCAA
And, like,
all the way.
I'd say NCAA is a much broader like there's much more teams. Like there's 64 teams in the tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And like in the NBA, there's what?
I think
16.
there's what, third?
16.
Yeah.
So you have a fourth of the teams that
It's not
have
16.
a chance of
It's
making
not 16.
it.
I'm an idiot. That's,
And then like one shining moment,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinderella could come
Yeah.
out of nowhere and just.
Yeah.
magic happens.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, so we all agree on this one.
Yeah.
Moving on. I have a feeling everyone might agree on this one as well. Who was better in their prime? Larry Fitzgerald or Julio Jones?
Larry.
Joe?
I mean,
I mean,
come on. you know?
there's just nothing really else I can say.
I mean, Julio is fantastic. One of the best athletes to ever grace the football field. But when you want a guaranteed catch, you throw Larry Fitzgerald the football.
I'm gonna change my answer. Give me neither and give me Michael Thomas.
Stab me up on that one.
That's wild.
Slant, man.
Larry Fitzgerald. Like,
You can't debate against the guy.
I mean,
I low key though, I might take Julio Jones.
wow.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's fair. It's fair to say.
He's a dog. The only thing though is he is ass in Madden. He is ass in Madden. I always picked bro up on my team 'cause, I cheese the trade block. You know what I mean?
Here's the difference.
Garbage. All right, you can name a bunch of superstars who don't have rings.
You can't. In my mind, you can't be considered one of the greatest at anything if you don't win a championship.
Wait, I thought Larry Fitz never won a ring.
No, they did.
I don't think that Cardinals team ever won.
Didn't they win one before the year that they lost to the Steelers?
They lost to the Steelers, and I'm pretty sure they lost to the.
Nah, he did not win any championships.
Oh.
So your argument is
Yikes.
invalid.
Okay, but more yards, more receptions, more touchdowns,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go next.
He played significantly more games than Julio Jones did, though.
better route runner, better hands, better in the air. Can I put the football?
Legend.
Just because he played more games doesn't mean he was in his prime the whole time. The question is in their prime. And I think Julio Jones, or not Julio Jones, I think Larry Fitzgerald from like 08 to like 20, I don't even know. But that Larry Fitzgerald is much more dangerous than the 3 years Julio Jones was in his prime. Just a thought.
Is Julio Jones the same player without Matt Ryan?
No.
No.
Not to discredit Julio, he's fantastic.
Well,
Let's
If
just.
someone can't,
I mean, if he's another star quarterback, I agree. But if he has,
if he has Sam
nobody.
Howell throwing him the ball, then I mean,
yeah,
but a receiver can't be good unless he's got somebody good throwing him the football.
He's had,
True.
Kurt Warner, I'm pretty sure was there. Who else was Carson Palmer? He's had a year or two of Kyler Murray. He had freaking Josh freaking what's that? Josh Rosen,
Rosen.
freaking
Such a
bomb.
Such a bum. Such a bum.
But anyway, let's move on because we all
yeah. We don't got all night.
Larry Fitz did go to Pitt, so I mean.
I mean you can't
You could have used that one point and sold me right away. You know what I mean? Alright, but anyway,
fuck.
next question. Still tied 1-1. A lot of agreement here. I'm gonna need a little bit more argument out of you boys.
Shut up.
You know what I mean? Who was better in their prime? J.J. Watt or Aaron Donald?
I think there's an agreement here too.
It's Aaron Donald. It's actually,
It's only fair.
or when you talk about the player, it's like this. But I
Yeah.
feel like Aaron Donald is the most dominant force ever put on a football field.
I mean, not even just that. Aaron Donald's not done.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
Yeah.
Aaron Donald is
He's still rolling.
in his prime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still getting
I agree.
double and triple teamed and just
I mean, I'm not discrediting J.J. Watt because he's retired, because I mean he started earlier.
Yeah.
But I think Aaron Donald
has never not
still rolling.
been out of
Guy
his prime.
bench presses like 800 pounds.
He'd be squatting like however many. Like it's
And he dominated at Pitt as well.
yeah.
Like his entire career,
He's been amazing.
It's been
dominant force.
domination. And I mean, J.J. Watt, great. J.J. Watt has always played good football. He always has been aggressive, like huge force. But I think Aaron Donald, they both have the same defensive player of the year. They both have the same amount of defensive player of the years. But I think Aaron Donald isn't done yet. I think he could easily win it a couple more times. I think he easily should win it a couple more times. He's a great defender. He's a great rush. Like Chove said, he gets double, triple teamed like he does. And then he still gets through and still makes the plays and still.
I wish Bro's not on the Rams.
That's a good point.
Should have been a Steeler.
Imagine he was not on the Rams.
I feel like if he's not on the Rams, I mean.
I think you can put Aaron Donald anywhere and he's still Aaron Donald.
True.
Yeah, I can agree. But J.J. Watt.
That's the difference between like a D lineman and a quarterback.
Yeah.
Or a D lineman and a wide receiver.
Okay.
All right. Question 7. Which championship run was tougher? 2011 Mavericks or the 2023 Heat?
I hope there's a disagreement here because I'm ready with smoke.
All right.
Chris, oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I got the Mavericks.
Oh. Oh God.
Say something. Come on.
This could be bad.
So I'm not gonna lie to you here.
Come on.
I also picked the Mavericks.
Oh.
I was so excited.
I was waiting for something.
Okay, let's talk about it though. Let's talk about it though. You go through the Blazers with Marcus Aldridge and Nick Batum. That team. Okay,
Wait,
I'm waiting.
I have one name to say, and this is the only point I need to bring up for the reason why we're right.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Not Dirk, even though Dirk led the team. Peja Stojakovic.
That
Hell
team.
nah.
Old Steve Nash, old ass JJ Barea.
Their team, I mean, the team was just great.
You play. I mean, like think about it. You play. You play the Blazers. I mean, who are not. They weren't the greatest at the time. You know, Marcus Aldridge. That was like a gritty team. Then you play Kobe Bryant, and it's fucking Kobe Bryant. Like that's
It's Kobe Bryant.
It's the
like,
Black
there's
Mamba.
literally-
But then you play the Baby Thunder, who Kevin Durant at this era. Listen. I know they were young, but like Kevin Durant could still give anybody like in his age at that time. He could have given anybody 60 on any given night. Like nobody could stop him. Russell Westbrook was way too athletic, way too explosive, and for them to beat such a that team, they needed time to figure it out. Granted, whatever the hell, but that's not a slouch of a team. And obviously you play the Big Three Heat in the finals. Can't discredit it. But the Heat, that's not to say the run wasn't tough either. You play Giannis. You play the Celtics. You play who else? They play the Knicks, and obviously, I mean, they played the Nuggets. They didn't win, but then the question isn't what title was tougher, which run was tougher.
I'd say the only thing that deters me from picking the Heat is the fact that Jimmy Butler showed up to camp with dreads.
It's fair. I mean, that was ugly as hell.
That's one of the most iconic moments from last year's basketball season, but the fact that he just did that.
Bro looks straight out of Skylanders.
He looked so
Where did that come from?
I don't know, bro. Like, that just popped in my head. Yeah, bro was, and he was giving your favorite team a 30-piece.
He was giving your Milwaukee Bucks 56. Like, I'll open Instagram to this one day.
Exactly.
Alright. Moving on. Next question. This is a good one. This is probably my favorite question of the day. What hypothetical team could have won more if everything went right?
Chris, I'll let you go first.
The 2021 Brooklyn Nets or the process 76ers?
I personally never trusted the process, which makes me say that I think the 2021 Brooklyn Nets had much more potential. and completely messed it up.
Yeah.
Joe, what are your thoughts here, son?
I'm gonna be honest.
Oh shoot.
I picked the Nets. But let me
Oh,
no no no
come
no no no
on.
no no. Let me disagree on purpose. Let's debate. Let's do it.
Let's
Because
talk about it. Let's talk about
If it's me, I'm taking the process.
oh why don't you guys do it? I can moderate, or like me and Bones will go. Chris and Bones.
All right.
Let's do
so let's start with the Nets for a second. You bring in KD, Kyrie, and Harden. 3 superstars in the league.
Yep.
You know, most teams got 1 or 2 superstars on their team, right? Like they have those guys that they're gonna give that guy the ball, and he's gonna run the offense.
Yeah.
You can't have 3 brothers running the offense, 3 superstars running the offense. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
obviously when they brought all these people in, everyone was like, "Holy shit! Like this is gonna be a super team. Like no one can beat these guys." But I didn't think their play styles matched together very well. Obviously, Harden is a very like all the teams he's been on, like the offenses run through him.
The
It's-
defense is not.
Yeah. So I honestly, when all these trades and they brought all of them in, I wasn't a fan of this. I kind of saw that it wasn't going to work out. Now the process, you bring in Markel Fultz, who was a dog in college.
Out of college, Marco
Yeah.
Fultz was that dude.
Was a very promising prospect, who his career is obviously not good with the Sixers, but now with the Magic, Magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having a solid career.
He's having a little
Ben
revival.
Ben Simmons with a monster rookie season looked like he was going to be promising, and then Embiid has obviously had the career that he's had. So, like we said, hypothetically everything worked out. I think and they were all very young. I think hypothetically the process should one still be together, and 2 should have some type of championship or something to their name.
Like that had Warriors Bulls dynasty written
Yeah,
all over it.
yeah,
Like that was
yeah.
the hype. That was the hype.
All right.
Chris, let me hear your side.
So the question is, if everything worked out, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Let's say Kyrie gets vaccine.
Yes.
Actually, basketball. You can't discount Kyrie Irving, great basketball player. You can't discount KD, great basketball player. You can't discount James Harden, great basketball player. So, when you build a super team like that, there's only greatness that can happen. I mean, I understand their play styles didn't match up, but I think they had the names that if everything went well, remember this is the question, that if everything went well, they would have had much more success. Because, I mean, Marco Fultz, young. Ben Simmons, bitch. Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid. But I think,
I feel like Chris is just like a Sixers hater, bro.
I don't like the Sixers, that's on me.
I haven't heard you say one positive thing about the 76ers today.
I tell you what, Ben Simmons.
Maury, bro. It's all Maury, bro. No, but back to what I was saying. I think if it all works out, I think just the pure power of having all 3 of those guys on the same team equals out to more than the lack of experience that the process had.
Fair enough.
Choke, what are your thoughts here? Who wins, who loses? No Phillies, or no Philly bias.
No Ben Simmons bias. Well, Bones knows I love me some Ben Simmons. Now listen.
Ben Simmons, bitch.
Fair. So I'm gonna take the Nets, and the reason I do is because, like you mentioned, Chris,
Yeah.
the Sixers that team would have needed a little bit of time to figure it out. When you have Kyrie, who's won a championship, when you had KD, who had already won 2 championships, when you had James Harden, who hasn't won a championship yet, but has averaged 36 points a game in a season, like these guys know, like 2 of these guys know how to win. One of them, he's been on winning teams, hasn't won the ultimate prize yet, but still, winning player. for the most part, you can say. So, I think that, and still, when they played together, they played a total of 16 games together. We're 13-3. So how many times are they going to lose if they play 82 games? 10? 9?
Looking at
Good point.
possible best record ever.
Good point.
Possibly. But I like, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. All right. I'm taking my reins back as the moderator.
Good man.
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out 0-1.
Post is going to retire on top.
Right. All right. So we got Chris 2 points, Aiden at 1. All right. Next one. These last couple are good. So number 9, we got which record is more unattainable? John Stockton's assist record or Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game? We'll start with Chris.
See, when you let us know about this one, I thought this was very, very good and very, very tough.
Yeah.
But I think the more unattainable record is a 100-point game.
Oh, we
And
got a
I
little
Choate-
controversy here.
I know Choate disagrees, because I knew for the next question that Choate disagrees. But I think, don't get me wrong, 15,000 assists is wild. And the next
is wild.
closest is 3,000 behind him.
Yeah.
But the next closest to scoring 100 points in the game is 81 points with Kobe Bryant. But Kobe Bryant is a once-in-a-generation talent. Like, Kobe Bryant...
Wilt Chamberlain's a once-in-a-generation talent.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's going to be a superstar who comes in the league sometime soon.
Vic?
Who just... don't get me wrong. I think there might be a guy or two in the NBA right now that could do it. But just thinking about Kobe Bryant and all the things he did, the immaculate work ethic, the Mamba mentality, and just everything that he did as a player, and then just realizing that he was still 20 points off of scoring 100 points in a game, and he's the best, I'd say probably the best player in the 20th, or in the 21st and 22nd, that doesn't make sense, in the 21st century. But, I also think, the reason I think this is very tough is, with more superstars coming into the league, it makes it a higher chance that they might score 100 points. I think that might drive down the number of assists that players will get in the season because they'll be more focused on, of course, going to the rack and scoring points instead of passing the ball. But I think since the closest to 100 points so far is a once-in-a-generation player, then I think that'll take more time.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Aiden?
Okay, let me tell you why I disagree. So, last season, 2 players dropped 71 points. 2. And Damian Lillard did not play all 48 minutes. Donovan Mitchell, I think he played in a little overtime action against the Bulls, but still, you give Dame 5 more minutes, you give Donovan Mitchell 3 more minutes, who knows, they might put up 90, they might score 80, who knows. With assists, John Stockton started, that is longevity at its finest. When you set a record so high that not even Chris Paul, a once-in-a-generation basketball mind and playmaker, is 3,000 away from your landmark, it shows how impossible your record is to get. Chris Paul has been in the National Basketball Association 18 years and is regarded, in my opinion, as the greatest basketball mind of all time, and he's nowhere near. What does that say about his record? You know what I'm saying? It's 81 points is closer to 100 than 12,000 is to 15,000. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And you have to average. Let's think. John Stockton, I think, has a career average of probably 12 assists, and I think he played in the league 20 something years, maybe 19, but still, that's a very long time of a lot of excellence and a lot of good basketball.
Yeah, he averaged 10.5 assists per game.
For his career?
Yeah.
Okay.
Longevity.
Let me off this. let me offer this as a quick rebuttal. How many minutes did you say Dame played when he scored 71?
Didn't play 48.
He played or he didn't play 48?
He didn't play the whole game.
Okay. And you said Donovan Mitchell played a little overtime?
I think that game was in overtime against the Bulls.
So,
Bones was the fact check.
Or even if Dame has 5 more minutes, I mean, Kobe played 47 minutes and put up 81 points. Do you think that you give Dame 5 more minutes, he puts up 29 more points and reaches 100? I mean, Kobe, I mean, he didn't even, like, there was no overtime, there's nothing, and he put up only 81.
But
I mean, that's him.
let me think. Let me offer this as a little rebuttal. How many shots did Kobe Bryant miss? How many shots did Kobe Bryant take? Because Kobe Bryant likes to shoot. Kobe Bryant does not give a fuck who's got a hand in his face. Kobe Bryant will shoot that damn ball.
To throw thing up there.
So I'm just saying, like,
He went 28 for 46 from
yeah.
Holy shit.
And
That's why.
I
Imagine if
think
Kobe
it's
made,
either way.
10 more shots, 9 more shots.
Yeah.
That's true, but there aren't guys like that in the MLB, not MLB, in the NBA right now.
I could, both of you guys made very good points. I honestly could
Jones.
see this going either way. I could see it either way. Kind of like you said, Chris, a 100-point game is definitely very difficult. It's going to be a while before someone does that again. But the John Stockton assist record, that is just the two closest current players that are still playing that are close to it are
It's
Chris
CP
Paul
and Braun, right? Yeah.
Chris Paul is, let me look here. He's about 4,000 away from it.
4,000.
And LeBron James is roughly a little over 5,000 away from it. And those are obviously two really good basketball players. So, in my opinion, I could see both never being broken again. But if I had to pick, I'm probably going to go John Stockton's record. Solely because you would have to be averaging 10 plus assists
For 20
play
years.
just as long as he did.
Here's what
And I feel like, I don't know, what's up?
Let me just get one more quick rebuttal.
Yeah. He's
So-
still fighting it. He's blank.
Wilt set the record 61 years ago.
True.
61 years ago, and the closest was 19 points.
Yeah.
Like, you'd think in 61 years, there'd be players who would come closer than that, maybe within 5 or 10 points. But 19 or 20 points away from it in 61 years.
You gotta think about it.
Well, okay, let's. Oscar Robertson set the triple double record, and it stood for God knows how many years, and it was broken by Russell Westbrook. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had his scoring record for God knows how many years, and he broke it.
But I think
John Stockton had his record for.
And you gotta think.
You know?
Let's say one of these days, the stars align. Someone like Dame, or let's just use Dame as an example. He catches fire, putting up shots, making them. He's getting up there. Game goes to overtime. You get extended time. You're putting up a similar amount of shots as Kobe was when he dropped 82. I think it's more like, I think both are very unlikely in my opinion. But I think it's more likely that someone is to score 100 points, especially with the talent that's coming into the league and how the game
It's
is
changing.
kind of played now.
Yeah.
Than breaking Stockton's assist record. Like, that is, I don't think it's ever going to be touched, in my opinion.
Yeah, Stockton, he both played for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's only, like, there's only a couple guys who are close to playing for that long. And, like,
Yeah.
dickhead LeBron doesn't pass the ball enough to be close enough.
Yeah.
So,
Not Bones is glorious
I don't
king.
yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah. My glorious king.
But that's a great topic, and I praise
That was
you
good.
for
That was good. So, it's 2-2 now. 2-2 with 3 to go. Okay. So here we go. Next question. This is kind of building off of our last one. Who is more likely to drop 100 points in a game? Steph Curry or Dame Lillard?
I guess Steph Curry.
What, Aiden, go first? Steph Curry, Chris?
Give me neither.
Bones?
That's what I said. That's what I had written down in my notes. I said neither.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me tell you guys why I think Stephen Curry will drop 100 points. Let's say Stephen Curry has 48 minutes, and he has no chance of getting injured. Let's say this is because Stephen Curry, he's an Iron Man, and he hasn't got hurt in like a little while. He's broken his finger here. He's had some ankle issues and knee problems, whatever. Stephen Curry has such an unorthodox style of playing basketball, and it's so perfect. His off-ball movement is amazing. You could see this guy throw up a shot, do some stupid shit like this, and it'll go in. That's the type of shit that Steph Curry's making. No one can guard Steph Curry. Steph Curry is an entire system. You build your franchise. Your coach coaches around Steph Curry. And I think when this guy makes enough shots, when he really starts to feel it, I'm telling you, in 48 minutes, Steph Curry could drop 100 points.
Like that, Chris?
And defense has become so soft. Like, this season, there were how many 40-point, 50-point, 60-point, 70-point games this season? This season alone. From freaking Kyle Kuzma's dropping 40-point games, Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard dropping 70-point games, this guy's dropping 50, this guy's dropping 50. Steph Curry is one of, if not the greatest point guard of all time. The greatest shooter of all time.
Okay. One, Steph Curry's not the greatest point guard of all time. Keep trying, though.
I agree. No, I agree. I agree with that.
What was I gonna say? I think if Steph were gonna do it, he'd have done it by now. Because I think for the last couple of years, Steph has just been chucking the basketball. And I mean, he makes 13 threes a night or whatever the record is. I don't even know.
It's Clay's record.
It's Clay's, but he's close. But if he's chucking up these threes and he's still not coming close, then I don't know if he can do it. Because, I mean, Will just...
Because there was no three-point line for Wilt Chamberlain.
There was, exactly. Rose scored 100 points with just foul shots and 2 pointers. And I mean, I'm not to say that he wasn't shooting a lot, but he was just in the post scoring at will. And Curry doesn't have that post presence, definitely, because he's not big enough. And I don't think he could score 100 points on 3-pointers alone. And I mean, he could get a couple points in here and there, but I don't think he's scoring or hitting 33 3-pointers in one night and then getting fouled for his 100th point. I mean, Dame's a good player, but I don't think Dame has what it takes.
Here's the thing with Dame. Dame is just as good, not just as good, as like on that caliber of 3-point shooter. I'd say Dame is a better scorer than Steph Curry. That's when I made that question. Dame is better at getting to the basket, has just as good of a handle. He can shoot from range. He's a great volume shooter, and I'm like, if these guys are, if Steve Kerr says, Steph, take the basketball, do not pass to anybody, shoot for a game, what happens?
What was your pick again?
My pick was Steph. I picked Steph.
Okay. So
Chris really came on here. He came on our show. He said, "Screw you. I'm picking neither."
Yes, he had the question and was like, "I'm good."
So I'm gonna pick one now, because now that I've thought about it, I think it's Damian Lillard. Because yet again, I don't think Steph can score off of 3-pointers alone. He can't take it to the rack or he'll get fucking stuffed. But Dame can shoot. We know that. Dame can shoot from anywhere. Dame time. And then he can take it to the yak. I mean, I'm not going to say he's dunking left and right and posterizing dudes.
I mean, he's Dame's got a collection of
But
dunks.
he has 100 times more inside post presence than Steph Curry ever will. And it's not a fault of Steph Curry's, it's just the fact that he's 5'9" or however tall he is.
5'9". He's like 6'2".
I think him and Dame are the same height.
My bad.
Anywho.
Steph Curry has no inside presence. All he can do is shoot. And I mean, he could lay here and there, but I think Dame has more inside presence, stronger, and can score in many more different ways than Steph can.
All right, yeah. Both of you made good points.
Thank you.
Chris, he said earlier, if Steph hasn't done it by now, he doesn't think he's ever going to do it, and I honestly agree with that. If I had to pick between these two, I'm also probably going to go Dame. I think.
I can't believe I didn't pick my own favorite player. Like I'm a hater.
I think Dame is a more versatile scorer.
I agree.
Like Steph is the best shooter ever, obviously, but Dame, like you were saying, can score anywhere. He can take it to the rack. He can shoot. So, out of these two guys, I would probably go Dame.
I like
But
that.
still,
Alright,
kind of
agreeable.
swinging back to the last question, I don't see this record being broken anytime soon.
Mm-mm.
All right, but 2 questions to go. Chris is up 3-2 now?
I think so, yeah.
Chris up 3-2. We got 2 to go. Question 11. This is a good one. Who wins a best-of-7 series, the Baby Thunder or the 2018 Rockets? We'll let Chris go first.
I guess I have a precursor question to this. Does Harden play for both?
Yes.
He counts as both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have 6 men of the year, and then you have the MVP.
Give me the Baby Thunder.
I agree. I agree. I got the
figured
Baby
you
Thunder.
would. And I figured we're gonna agree on the next question too, but I think Baby Thunder easily.
Give me Baby Thunder in 6.
Wow.
Mm.
I was going with a closer to 4. I'm not 4, probably 5. I think Houston sneaks 1, maybe 2.
The Thunder are running the Rockets off the 3-point line. Serge Ibaka is going to pack the paint. No one's guarding Kevin Durant. Chris Paul's the last ain't keeping up with Russell Westbrook. And we still got James Harden come off the bench and maybe giving somebody 40. So, the Rockets are a good team.
James Harden's 2018 season was so dominant, though.
I mean, let's think. The Rockets were probably Chris Paul. If Chris Paul didn't injure his groin, they're winning. They're winning it all.
I agree.
Yeah.
So let's say with Chris Paul healthy against the Baby Thunder, you still think Baby Thunder easily?
I think Russ is too quick.
Yeah. I mean, Katie is just.
And Katie is,
super, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody
I would have liked to see that team play out. That's another hypothetical.
Yeah.
Could have been good. I would have liked to see how they.
I think I would have chose them over the 2021 Nets and the process.
The
Well,
Thunder.
then you got to think about it. It's kind of a thing. Like, would those three, like, would their play styles like interfere with each other, or would they make an actually good team?
I mean, like the Thunder, that Baby Thunder team, they lost to the Heat in the finals
Yeah.
very early on. So I mean, and let me give you Russ got injured a lot early on in his career, and James Harden, when he didn't get the max contract from the Thunder's front office, he was out. So I think if that team stayed together, they could have won. They could have won. It had to have won at least 1 or 2.
Because I think the one difference between the Nets and the Baby Thunder is the difference between Russell Westbrook and Kyrie Irving.
Ring.
Because I think Russ takes a much more backseat role to the other two. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is up there with the other two completely. But I think Kyrie is too
Ball dominant compared to Russ, when Russ is much more versatile.
Russ can work off the ball a lot better, and if you get him the ball, he will make a play no matter what. I mean, not to say Kyrie won't, but Russ isn't staying there clapping for the ball the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russ making plays for everybody else and working for the Yak.
Yeah. All right. Well, still 3-2, Chris. Last question I got here. Who has been more influential, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Sure, I'll let you lead on this one.
I got Michael Jordan.
Simple.
You can't disagree.
Agreed.
I mean, like,
Agreement.
you talk about the game of basketball, it's still Michael Jordan. You talk about off the court, it's still Michael Jordan. Like, let's be real.
If you think, I mean, just if you think about it, like, the influence that he's had on basketball players today,
It's still great.
like, not even, like, I don't know, but, like, basketball players now, when they were younger, they were watching Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, in the future, basketball players who were younger might have been watching LeBron, might have been watching
Kevin Durant for, like,
Spurs, yeah, just teams like that. But kids who, or guys who are in the NBA now, when they were younger, they were watching Michael Jordan. So they're looking up to Michael Jordan, styling themselves after Michael Jordan. I mean, I don't know if anybody now is even close to being as good as Michael Jordan, but I think
when you got a song saying "I want to be like Mike," come on. When a person goes up, when a person is inducted into the Hall of Fame of basketball and says, "You can do all this, you can be like Bird, you can be like Magic, but I want to be like Mike," and you are making it to the Hall of Fame of basketball, like, come on.
yeah.
And has Michael Jordan ever said that he's the greatest of all time? Your influence has crowned him as the greatest.
This one was actually kind of tough for me. I feel like both were. I honestly couldn't pick one. I think these were both very, very even. Like both of them really represented and influenced like a different era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like obviously the game's changed a lot since Michael Jordan played, and now we're kind of in like the LeBron James era. But both in their era influenced like how the game is played, how hoopers dress, how they act, and stuff like that. So I honestly I couldn't pick. I had a 50-50 here for me. But yeah.
I just think off the fact that, like, I saw the other day, there's one NBA player now whose dad played in LeBron's first game.
Jabari Smith Jr.'s dad.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's the only one, which means he was a young kid when LeBron was playing, but he's one of the youngest players in the league. But everybody else in the league, when they were younger, and they turned on TV, they'd be watching the Bulls.
So they was watching Michael Jordan.
You can't get over the fact. I mean, Michael Jordan, much more successful. And I mean, just during the '90s, anybody who turned on a basketball game, there's a good chance they're watching Michael Jordan the Bulls.
But you gotta account for like the middle schoolers and the elementary kids like now, like they're watching LeBron James.
Maybe in a couple of years, my answer might change here because kids might be more like LeBron James. But
Yeah.
I just thinking young like players who are high up now, who play in the league now, all grew up watching Michael Jordan. And maybe in 10 or 15 years, kids change and be like, oh, I grew up watching LeBron. I grew up watching, I mean, Kobe even. I grew up watching these guys. But I still think, at the current moment, Michael Jordan.
Fair enough. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 12th and final question. Chris Costa comes on the podcast and takes a demanding 3-2 victory in the first ever segment of Agree to Disagree.
Thank you.
So, Chris, congratulations. You know, it was an honor to have you today. We're hoping you'll come and join us in the future.
We'd love to have you back.
We'd love to have you back. You know, great looking guy. Hopefully get our views up. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
So I don't have anything else. Aiden, would you like to do the honors?
This has been Agree to Disagree Sports Pod. Oh,
Wait,
He's interrupting.
1 second before the after.
dare you?
I'm sorry. As
This
the
better be
guest,
good.
I have one last thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
I'd like to wish our very own Sam Coppola good luck as he moves into college and as he moves into this big stage of his life and continues his next 4 years.
Let's go, Pet baby!
Thank you.
We all are very proud of you, Sam, and we know that you're going to do great things in the future.
Much
Means a
love,
lot.
brother.
You know, gonna start tearing up here, but means a lot. You know, these guys are like brothers to me. and can't wait to continue the next 4 years at the University of Pittsburgh.
Go big.
All right, back to you, Chove.
Gentlemen, this has been a Agree to Disagree Sports Pod. Stay thirsty, my friends.